As an Airbnb host or an Airbnb co-host, we love when we see the midterm reservations come in at $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 reservations. And typically the midterms are actually like the easiest type of Airbnb reservation. The guests are there, they get comfy, they get settled in. It's pretty much smooth sailing. But guys, do I have a nightmare story for you. A big YouTuber with over 800,000 followers destroying our Airbnb. Our cleaners were in hazmat suits. I had to get a septic tank pumped out. We had to get new plumbing, new bedding. There was dog poop everywhere. It was a literal shit show. So I want to take you on the worst month of my life as an Airbnb host. I want to share everything that happened with you guys, from the inquiry stage to their mid-stay clean to what happened afterwards. You guys won't even believe me. And that's why I'm gonna share with you screenshots, audio recording, like the list goes on, because I personally don't want this to happen to anybody. So let's get into this. We received an inquiry for a 2-month stay for one of our midterm homes, and we have like no real red flags. The guys messaged us and he's like, hey, we're gonna come into town to work on like some manufacturing for like our pre-workout brand and the clothing brand, which is like not any different than any other lead we get in LA. We get a ton of people who just come here for 2 to 3 months to really work on a project. So we accepted this reservation, like no problems. Now this home is a bit special. It's not like your traditional 3-2 home. It's actually a 3-story home on the hillside with amazing views of the city, and it actually has a tiny home underneath. So it's kind of like 2 homes in one. Great for roommates, honestly, because you could have like your own space downstairs and then upstairs have like 2 more roommates or your own space, and then the 3rd floor can be like for fun, like hanging out and whatnot. So since this home is like very different, like not your traditional 3-2, we actually always meet the guests that book this home. Plus it's a pretty penny, like it's not a cheap place to book. So we agreed to meet the guest on his check-in date. We were there all day getting this home ready. The cleaners, even the owners showed up. Like we really do prep our homes, especially if our guests are spending a good amount of money. So first red flag for me, because I'm a very punctual person, is they already told me they're gonna be late. They're like, hey, there's like traffic, like welcome to LA. They're like, we're gonna be like 45 minutes late. So I was like, no problem. You guys, did I tell you that this home's on a hillside? It's also shown in the listing that it's on the hill. They come and like decked out, like low charger car, like muscle car, like you could hear it a mile away. There's no way this car is gonna clear this hillside. When they came, I'm like, hey guys, like welcome. Listen, your car's low. I don't want you to like mess up your bumper. We also own the plot of land next door to this home. So I was like, use that land, it's for sale. Like no one's gonna come here. Just park your car in the empty land. That way like you don't mess up your car. They were like, yeah, totally, no problem. Great. We're doing a tour of this home as they're checking in. I'm showing them everything about the home, like this is where this is at, this is how you do this. And they're like, yeah, like this is awesome, it's gonna work great for us, like we're 3 guys, we're roommates. And then I tell them, we're on the hillside, there's a lot of wildlife. Oh, plus they had a dog, okay? They had a dog, which is totally fine. Just be careful, like there's coyotes, there's eagles, there's lizards, there's spiders. He literally said, quote unquote, I like that. I'm from Michigan.
Tough guy. Thinks he's a tough guy.
You're from Michigan, you like the wildlife? Great. So I'm thinking these guys are gonna blend in just wonderful on this hillside home. And lo and behold, it didn't last long. Fast forward 2 days into the guest stay of 60 nights, they actually sent a request to Airbnb support and that they're requesting a full refund of $16,000. And I said, hi, I'm like so sorry to hear about your car. I advise you to park on the land next door. You need to contact like your car insurance. And I even told Airbnb support, like I did a walkthrough with them and I gave them alternative options of where to park their car. Like you literally parked your car like in the middle of the street. But they thought as Airbnb host that I should be paying for this, but I kindly declined that request. And if you're a host out there, like really understand and know where you fall and like what your responsibilities are, because at the end of the day, their car got hit because they didn't properly park it after you as a host gave them multiple options of where to park. So now that the guests like pretty upset with me that I'm not gonna refund them $16,000 because their car literally got sideswept because they didn't know how to park, now they're telling me that I'm a scammer. Now they're telling me that I advertised this listing to be 9,500 square feet. One, I want everybody to sit there and think about this. These are the listing photos that are on Airbnb where they booked. Does this even look like a 10,000 square foot house? 1, no. 2, I kind of immediately like jumped on like every online platform that I actually advertise this house on. And I was like, oh my God, like did I make the mistake and put like 9,500 square feet somewhere? Like did I accidentally press the 9 instead of the 2 or the 1 and making it like 1,500 square feet? So I kind of was like, shoot, did I mess up? We have over 45 listings published on Airbnb, and like that's just not the way like we do business. And of course, he had no evidence of anything that I listed this house as being almost 10,000 square feet. So I also won that case. So now let's fast forward to September 10th. I get another message from this guest and he is now telling me that the plumbing is wrong. He's not acting like it's an urgent matter. So I'm thinking like, okay, maybe like a toilet got clogged. There's so many little things with plumbing that like can go wrong, especially with tenants. And like we're used to those things, honestly. Like I'm saying like, hey, our handyman could be there around like 3 p.m. today. Does that work? And he's like, yeah, that's totally fine. Like whatever works for you guys. When he shows me the photo of what's happening, he sends me a picture of literally a poop-filled toilet. So I was like, whoa, toilet's clogged. Then he sends me a picture of the downstairs shower, and guys, there is like poop coming up the shower drain. So it looks like somebody took a shower and like all of like the water just like stayed there. And I was like, what is this? I was like, how long has it been like this? And he's like, since I last contacted you, which was a week ago.
Ugh, you are disgusting.
Who's living like this? Like, why didn't you like make it like a more serious matter instead of like when I'm asking you questions, like you don't respond for like hours or days at a time. So like our plumbing situation got really bad. This guest purposely destroyed our pipes. I can't even begin to tell you. Like massive amounts of paper towels like shoved in there. Honestly, like somebody's doing this on purpose. Like I can understand like you put too much toilet paper, like you do clog the toilet, but like no, like they're literally like deliberately doing this. And the thing was that we just had gas prior and like nothing was wrong. It got so bad that this home's also on septic, which I know septic is like horrible as a rental house. It ruined all the tanks underneath. Like this became like a $2,000 job. Then I had to send my cleaning crew because now poop is literally everywhere. Like it is a shit show. Literally. Poop is everywhere. I'm sending my cleaners, like they're in hazmat suits, like shout out to them, like they deserve like, I wish I could give $1 million. Like I wish I could give my cleaning crew $1 million for the way they treated this home. They went in there and they cleaned everything out and now they're taking photos because now they're in the home and they're like, this home is disgusting. So now we're gonna fast forward 3 days later, or I don't even know how many days we're at, but September 15th. Literally the guest says, I can no longer live here. There's a roach. I'm deathly afraid. Great. Do you know why there's roaches? Because you leave the sink like this. And I literally at this point, like usually if there's like a bug, even like spiders, or obviously people see like things happen in Airbnbs because like there's always constant people, there's a lot of movement happening. Typically if like a guest does see a bug or something, I'm like very apologetic, like I'm sending the cleaners, like we're picking that up, like we're refunding them. But at this point, I'm not apologetic. I'm like literally sending him photos of what my cleaner sent me. The roaches are here because you don't do dishes. The roaches are here because you're not running the dishwasher. You're leaving food out, you're leaving your pans out, and this is why roaches are coming into the house. You can leave and you're not getting a refund. And he didn't respond because he knows that I was right. And I don't think he knew that we were taking photos like that, but we told him straight up, like we're taking photos for evidence because this is not the way that you should be treating a home. So it's finally checkout day. Like this was the longest month of my life, guys. Like I was like, I can't wait for these people to leave. Like I'm shocked they didn't leave, it doesn't matter. They finally check out, and when I tell you this house was absolutely horrendous, it exceeded my thoughts of horrendous. So the guest checks out and you already know he reviewed us. And guys, this is the review. You're not supposed to swear on Airbnb or any other platform for that matter. Easy case, the review, we're gonna get the review taken off. We found dog feces everywhere. Like poop everywhere. Human poop, dog poop, everything. We found like old orange slices, we found food. Why were they putting frying pans outside? We found sheets outside. Like they literally destroyed this house inside and out. What do you do as an Airbnb host when your house is destroyed? One, evidence is key. You need timestamp photos as a host, as a co-host, as a cleaner, because you ultimately have to do an AirCover claim and they're gonna ask you for the timestamp photos. I'm also tracking down like everything my cleaner used and everything we needed to buy for this. I'm also tracking everything that we had to purchase or repurchase because all the sheets were destroyed, the mattress was destroyed, pots and pans were destroyed. Like these things are not cheap, and this is a pretty new house, so we definitely had to rebuy everything. Also, here's a little MBX pro tip. If a guest leaves your house and your house is like super smelly or maybe moisture in the air or something, you have to like nip that in the butt really quick, you can actually rent this HEPA machine from Home Depot. It was pretty pricey. It was about $500 to rent for like 5 days. But guys, it made the house smell so much better. It literally like absorbed all of like the smelliness and the moisture that was in the house, and it just, I don't know what it did, but it worked. Shout out to Home Depot for that rental, and honestly, such a game changer. This YouTube was a little weird for me to make because I didn't want to look bad as a host or bad as a business owner. But to tell you the truth, guys, I wanted to share this story because it could happen to any host out there, to anybody. No matter how good you screen guest, no matter how high your nightly rate is, no matter how amazing you think your business is, it can happen. In part 2 of this nightmare story, I'm gonna show you how we got $10,000 from Airbnb's Aircover. I'm Mercedes with MBX Homes. Thank you so much for watching and sharing my nightmare of an Airbnb story. Again, it could actually happen to anybody. So guys, just be careful, be reactive, make sure you're still a good host no matter how horrible your guests are. Because at the end of the day, if you're a good host and you're still providing good customer service, you're gonna win. It's okay, it's just stuff, you're gonna get reimbursed, and life moves on. And honestly, if you're accepting hundreds and thousands of reservations, you're bound to have your own nightmare story. But don't worry, we're all in this together. So make sure you subscribe to MBX Homes and DM me if you have any more questions.